This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome everyone to Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my partner in crime, my friend, your friend. He is the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. What up, dog? How you doing?
Happening, man? What's good?
It is all good, unless you are a fan of the 29 other baseball teams in Major League Baseball. We'll get to that in just a second because we do have some breaking news. But before we do that, as always, we thank our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns, 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things. Fantastic food, delicious food from a wildly diverse menu, a fantastic craft beer selection that is just as diverse as the menu, and a live entertainment, live music selection that is the most diverse of all. So whatever you're into, food-wise, beer-wise, entertainment-wise, they have it for you at all 3 Hop Monk locations. So to see what they have coming up as far as live entertainment is concerned, and it could be a touring band from around the country, or it could be a local artist, they have what you're looking for at Hop Monk. But check them out online at hopmonk.com. Definitely follow them on all the socials, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. But seeing is believing, eating and drinking is believing as well.
Yes.
Even better. It's the best thing to do. So if you're in Novato, Sonoma, or Sebastopol, seek out Hop Monk and you will be satisfied. So, man, a lot to get into. Who's going to start with the Niners? We got this Warrior Kuminga thing to talk about, and we'll let you know what the Warriors are doing right now as they are engaged in a professional basketball contest with the New York Knickerbockers. But we have some news that just came down a little while ago, and it is from the world of Major League Baseball. And it is news if you are, as I mentioned, a fan of the other 29 teams in Major League Baseball that are not as endowed as the team I'm about to break the news on you about. And you've probably figured out who it is already. You're going to hear this news, and you are going to have the exact same reaction that Shannon Sharpe did when he was being surreptitiously filmed walking through an airport baggage claim holding a very small dog. He said, "Bro, really?
Hey!
This news is back. This news, yeah. By the way, the program is working again. Thank God. I did a lot of cussing and fussing to make this happen. You will have the exact same reaction as Shannon Sharpe did when I break this news to you that the rich keep spending money and they keep getting richer. The Los Angeles Dodgers have just signed Kyle Tucker to a contract, to a very large contract. To a contract of 4 years, $240 million. Now, I am just a simple man who grew up going to public schools his entire life. And so I ain't a smart guy, but I can do division. That's $60 million a year for Kyle Tucker, who also, by the way, is getting the gift of being able to opt out of this contract, which he won't, by the way, because he's getting $60 million a year. Kyle Tucker has the option to opt out of this contract after the second and third year of this 4-year.
Can't nobody else afford to pay him $60 million a year. What are you talking about?
Well, they could if they wanted to. They're just not going to do it. But the Dodgers, yes, they have the money and they have the desire, and they also have the financial trickery to defer some salaries. So the Dodgers keep doing Dodger things. Here's a look at move this banner here. Here's a look at Dodger contracts that are worth more than $100 million. Obviously, Ohtani at the top, Mookie Betts right behind him, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tucker now 4 years, $240 million. Blake Snell, the guy they just got last offseason, he's got a paltry 5-year, $182 million contract. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and Tyler Glasnow down there, the broke boy in this club with a 5-year, $136,562,500.
Crazy, dude. And here's
all
the
right.
thing. Here's the thing. It seems crazy now, but let's be honest. In 10 years, 12 years, these contracts will probably seem like small fries.
Well, here's what's going to happen. In less than 10 years, as soon as next year, we're going to get a work stoppage. We're going to get a lockout, which means the owners will lock the players out of spring training facilities. They will lock them out of the Major League Baseball ballparks. The players will not go on strike. And it's very important to make that designation, because this will be something that will be owner driven. And again, this is very important because it's the owners. Well, 29 owners, not counting the Dodgers. It's the owners of Major League Baseball who don't want to pay these salaries. Yes, the Dodgers, they got the cash, all right? They got the TV contract and they got the cachet, all right? They're the Dodgers. But the Giants got money. Cubs are a big market. The Yankees are crying poor. The Mets have slashed a little salary, although they made a free agent signing. The player is
Red Sox.
The Red Sox have money. The Braves, they've got money. The Astros just signed a Japanese pitcher to a free agent contract. They have money. The Dodgers are the only ones who are choosing to deal with the luxury tax, and they're also, they're smart with these deferrals. If other owners wanted to get active like the Dodgers, or at least put a dent in the Dodgers being able to get Kyle Tucker for 4 years, $60 million a year, they could do that. The Cubs could have done that if they wanted to. They chose not to. Now they did get Alex Bregman. They chose to spend money on him. But my point is that the majority of Major League Baseball owners, ownership groups or singular owners, they have the money. They just ain't got the stones and the desire to spend the money like the Dodgers do. I said this a little while ago. I said it on Twitter. I hate the Dodgers just as much as I hate the Cowboys and the University of Alabama football program. I ain't mad at get down.
I lost you for a second. What did you say?
The Dodgers are doing what they're supposed to do.
Amen.
They're doing what they're capable of doing. I ain't mad at them. I don't like it. I ain't mad at them.
It's funny to me that the Yankees are a team that's starting to cry poor simply because that's their entire revenue, the Yankees.
Yeah.
And even they are going to have to figure out some ways to raise money at this point because everybody else got paper.
Well, again, you're going to get a lockout, and there's going to be some sort of change. I don't know if we're going to see a salary cap. I would not. If I was a betting man, I would not bet on that. I would not bet on the salary cap. I would definitely not bet on a hard salary cap like you have in the NFL. A salary floor might be a completely different story, but we're going to get a lockout here. Not this upcoming season, which, by the way, spring training is right around the corner. It's crazy. Not this upcoming season, but before the 2027 season, you're going to get a lockout. And I'm not saying the problems are going to get fixed, but that's when the rubber is going to meet the road. And I think the days of the Dodgers being able to do what they're doing, and within the framework of the rules, there's no rules that you can't spend money. There's no rules that say you can't defer. I think that's going to change because the 29 other owners and ownership groups, they're not going to get down like the Dodgers are getting down right now.
Yeah, this is kind of what they did with the Warriors. The Warriors are spending all this money, and they said, "Oh no, we cannot have this. Let's change the rules." And nothing has affected the Warriors like these two aprons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are right on it. Escobar saying, he hit 22 home runs, 266 in a hitter-friendly park. Overpaid. Yes, he's overpaid. He's making $60 million a year over the next 4 years. He's wildly overpaid. But to the Dodgers, it don't matter. They're just slotting him in there with Freddie Freeman, with Mookie Betts, with Shohei Ohtani. Yes, he's overpaid. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and the Dodgers are willing to overpay him to have him fit into what they want to do overall, which is get the best players you can get, money be damned.
I'll say it again. We all aspire to be overpaid.
100%.
Please hook me up with overpayment.
100%.
By the way, Did you hear this news? Because we're in baseball. Joe Lacob is trying to buy the Padres, so we might be looking at the Oakland Padres.
Oh no, he's not going to move him. No.
I bet you he will. I bet you he will. He wanted to buy the A's.
I'll put money on that. He's not going to move him to Oakland. He already moved him. It's a basketball team out of Oakland. Why would he take the Padres and move them out of their ballpark and out of that market to a market that everybody's left?
Don't be shocked.
I will be 100% shocked.
He will build his own. He will build his own stadium with his own money.
They already got a stadium in San Diego. Why would he do that?
I'm just telling you. This is my gut. This is my gut telling me this.
Well, you know what? Let's bet it. Make it light on yourself. Put some money on it, because I promise he'll buy the Padres. He ain't moving them out of San Diego to Oakland. Come on now. Come on now.
It would not shock me. It would not shock me. There's a lot of
100% shock me. And by the way, Joe Lacob, he's got basketball-related issues that we will get into in just a second, because it's Jonathan Kuminga can't be traded day, and everybody woke up thinking, all right, what's the deal? Like, what's the actual deal for Jonathan Kuminga? And then you find out there is no deal for Jonathan Kuminga, because there's kind of no market for Jonathan Kuminga, because the market's depressed because of Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors' actions. So what do you do now?
I think this is indicative. Listen, if people really wanted Jonathan Kuminga, they'd have been clamoring for him in the summer when he was a free agent.
100%.
This idea that, and this is not a knock on Jonathan Kuminga, it's actually a disservice to Jonathan Kuminga and all parties involved, the Warriors and him, for people to keep trying to act like, oh, this is a superstar. All we have to do is play him 30 minutes a night, and he's going to get you 32 points a game. Like, no. And the league knows that.
Yes.
He didn't get any big. He thought he was going to get big. He thought he was going to get $100 million in the past. He thought he was getting $100 million. Nobody even came close.
Yes, and the league also know that the Warriors don't value him. The Warriors don't plan on playing him. They are going to trade him, and he is a perfect description of him I saw earlier today. Jonathan Kuminga is a distressed asset.
Amen.
Everybody in the league knows it. So it is a double-edged sword for him, and it's cutting the Warriors, because Kuminga already has his money. It's cutting the Warriors the most, because you have a guy that is not viewed all that favorably by the vast majority of the teams, and they also know that you don't want him. So teams are just going to say, we'll give you that. Your offer should be next to nothing for Jonathan Kuminga to start. And if you do plan on upping the ante, it should be very small, incremental raises. I wouldn't give up anything for Jonathan Kuminga, not because Jonathan Kuminga is a terrible basketball player and a terrible human being. Neither one of those things are the case. But the fact that the Warriors don't desire him, they tanked his value, and Kuminga's play didn't necessarily help raise his value. I'm a big believer in that multiple things can be true, and they can be equally true. And to me, that's a big issue for the Warriors right now and moving forward. And the thing is, everybody knows the Warriors want to trade him. They definitely got to trade him before February 5th, because that little smokescreen they tried to put out a couple of weeks ago where the Warriors are saying, well, you know what? We don't have to trade him. Like, you don't have to, but you got to.
The idea that you could get Michael Porter Jr. out of this, great. Great. If you can get him out of this, fantastic.
And then to hear, and who knows if this is true, but let's just say it is, to hear that the Warriors don't necessarily value Michael Porter Jr. as something that they want. Like, man, let me tell you something. Whether you value him or not, if you have a chance to swap, and I'm just kind of making it a one-for-one thing, if you have a chance to swap Jonathan Kuminga, somebody you don't want, for Michael Porter Jr., somebody that could help you right now, if you have a chance to do that and you don't do it, that's malfeasance.
It gives you size and gives you shooting. If you want to try to recreate what you have with the Splash Brothers, this is about as close as you can get. And you want to talk about space?
He gives you somebody that you want, and he gives you, somebody who can give you a little bit or maybe a lot bit of what the Warriors need right now. 100%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100%.
Get him if you can get him, because that might be the best you're gonna get. Like the idea of like Giannis and all, get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh my goodness. Steve Kerr, before tonight's game against the Knicks, sat before the assembled media at Chase Center and answered questions and had this to say about Jonathan Kuminga and their relationship.
That Jonathan has demanded a trade and also just the specific reporting that you're and his relationship is a big part of why he wants out.
Our relationship is fine. There's not a whole lot I can say about the other stuff. It's, just is what it is. Difficult situation for everybody. And, part of this league, part of the job. So we just keep moving forward, but it's a tough situation, and I don't really have, much to add.
I know he was at shoot around this morning. What was kind of your message to him, and what were some of your conversations like?
None of your business. Yeah. No, we talked this morning, and that's all private. Yeah.
What over the next few weeks, leading up to the deadline, what do you hope to see out of him?
I will keep coaching him, and he's he'll be part of the team, and he'll be here, and it is what it is. So.
Steve, obviously a lot more of this stuff is out in the open now. How do you allow everything not to become a distraction over the next couple of weeks?
It won't be a distraction. Jonathan's a great young guy. His teammates like him. He's handling himself well. There won't be a distraction.
Real quick game updates. Warriors 62, Knicks 59. By the way, Knicks without Jalen Brunson, 62-59 as they go to the half. A couple of things here about what Steve Kerr said. First and foremost, the distraction thing. This is too good of a basketball team in terms of the players and the coach and the coaches. For this to become a distraction. If it was going to be a distraction, it would have already been a distraction. And I think it was any distraction, possible distraction, was tamped down when it became very obvious that there was going to be no Jonathan Kuminga in the rotation. Once they got past where they tried to start him and to see if that worked, and that fell by the wayside, and they tried to bring him off the bench, and his play wasn't what Steve Kerr wanted it to be. Once they came to that decision, what was it? I mean, we're probably talking now about 6 weeks ago. Once they came to that decision that Jonathan Kuminga wasn't going to play, that tamped down any potential distractions. I think it would have been more of a distraction if you try to play him and you try to integrate him, and the coach isn't necessarily enthralled about how he plays. Kuminga's not necessarily enthralled about his role and his minutes. That's how you get a distraction. You get rid of the distraction when both parties just say, hey, man, this ain't going to work. Let's try to be professional about it. And they have been professional about it. And when you have a team with Steph, with Jimmy Butler, with Draymond, and with Steve Kerr and the other coaches, this is not the type of team and the type of organization that lends itself to being susceptible to having distractions take them away from what they're trying to do, which is, of course, win basketball games.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess in some ways it is a distraction, but it's more of a distraction to the press and the fans. But I feel like internally with that team, they're handling it about as well as you possibly could. And let's give credit to both Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga, because 100%. It could be a distraction. It could be. But I think that they've come to an understanding where they just both go, you know what? It's not a good fit. Yeah. And no hard feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, not a good fit.
And here's the thing that people need to understand. Players are always going to be okay with players trying to get paid or get a better situation for themselves. As long as your desire to get paid or go somewhere else doesn't mess up the other players' get down, doesn't mess up their ability to try and win, or definitely doesn't mess up their money, they're okay with that. Steph, and he's gone on record saying this, Steph's okay with how Kuminga and his people have handled this entire situation. Draymond has said that Kuminga and Jimmy Butler are very, very, very close. So, Jimmy Butler is understanding of what has happened here with Jonathan Kuminga and how he's gone about doing things. So, the players don't have a problem with Jonathan Kuminga. The problem is between Jonathan Kuminga and Steve Kerr. Steve wants him to play a certain way. Kuminga wants to play a certain way. He wants minutes. He wants assurances of minutes. You have some sort of palace intrigue, if you will, in terms of how Joe Lacob views Jonathan Kuminga as a basketball player, how he views him in terms of how he's handled this whole thing. I don't necessarily get into that because I kind of don't give a shit. I only really care about the basketball part of it and the players and the coach. And these are two dudes. This is a tale as old as time. Coach and player don't see eye to eye. Situation is untenable, and player wants to be traded. The team would love to trade him, but the problem is you got a distressed asset, and you got a deadline coming up here on February 5th, because I do think you will start to get into distraction territory. I don't think it's going to be something that will really hurt the Warriors if he is here past the trade deadline, which is coming up on February 5th, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, my theory is that if we get to February 5th, and he's still on the team, you might suddenly see Jonathan Kuminga in the rotation again.
I don't disagree with you, my brother.
You might suddenly see, oh, wow, that back is not that bad. Okay, cool.
If you're not with the one you love the one you with.
Right. That's right. You ain't going nowhere. You may as well take these minutes. And I actually feel like they probably got to the point where it's like, you know what, if I'm not starting, and Steve Kerr kind of hinted at something like that a few weeks ago when he said that JK is the kind of guy who is not really good at coming in without a rhythm, whereas Guy Santos is the guy you can stick it on. So I have a feeling it's like, basically, if I ain't starting or getting big minutes, don't throw me in. Yes. And it's fair because he might get hurt before the trade deadline. So
which doesn't help either party in their desire to separate and get better situations for themselves. So
I've never believed that this was a personal thing, and I know that that's also the theory. Like he hates Jonathan Kuminga. Why? Like just because he wants to play? Yeah, I mean he's used to guys wanting to play.
Yeah, he doesn't hate Jonathan Kuminga. He hates the way Jonathan Kuminga plays because it doesn't fit within the framework of what the Warriors overall want to do. And his basketball is
and Steph Curry ain't gonna let them change that system, bro. So
no, and nor should he. It's a system that benefits him greatly.
That's why everybody's like, well, Steve Kerr can't adjust the system to Jake. No, you don't. Because the system is based on Steph Curry. If this was a team that had no championship aspirations, no winning aspirations, then you can jettison everybody and start this thing over from scratch and maybe try to do something around JK. But you can't. Not as long as you got these vets. And these dudes
can't, and you shouldn't.
And you shouldn't. Preach.
And you should not. Let's move on to your San Francisco 49ers. Last practice, they will have sort of a semi-practice tomorrow, but last practice for the Niners as they get ready to take on the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle for one of two NFC divisional playoff matchups. As you see by the banner on the screen, Niners are a touchdown or 7.5 point favorite, depending on where you get your lines from. I can't think of anybody who would willingly subject themselves to a hook. So the Niners are touchdown underdog to the Seattle Seahawks game this Saturday, 5 o'clock. Don't forget, Niners pregame live, NBC Sports Bay Area, 4 o'clock, 1 hour before Niners Seahawks. Myself, the Don, Matt Mayoko, and Carlos Ramirez will give you the latest and the greatest in terms of the Niners and, of course, post-game on NBC Sports Bay Area immediately following the game on Saturday. We would have loved to have given you on the pregame show the latest up-to-the-date. Fred Warner, is he going to play? Is it going to be a miracle comeback? A little bit more than 90 days since he had his ankle and lower leg completely and totally broken in that game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is Fred Warner going to come out and lead the Niners and lead them possibly to victory against the Seattle Seahawks? Nope, that ain't going to happen. Official injury report has come out, and you will see Fred Warner did not participate in practice today. He was a limited participant in the first 2 days of practice. Really wasn't a practice on Tuesday. Fred Warner was a limited participant, and that video circulated around the NFL, and Niner fans absolutely lost their mind with the idea of Fred Warner being able to play. It was a long shot for him to play, and now it is definitely not going to happen as Fred Warner is out. So that's not it's not great news, Marcus, but it's not terrible news because of how good Eric Kendricks has been over the last couple of games, or really a game and a half. Kendricks came in midway through the Week 18 game between the Niners and the Seahawks. Kendricks played the entire game at middle linebacker against the Eagles. Kendricks has not missed a tackle. The communication has been on point with Kendricks in there. Kendricks, in terms of being in pass defense, has been a lot better than Tatum Bethune. So everybody would have loved the story of Fred Warner coming back. It's going to have to wait a week for the Niners to participate in the NFC Championship game. But all in all, it's not the worst thing in the world to have Eric Kendricks out there instead of Tatum Bethune because of the way he's played over the last couple of weeks.
Dude, everything the San Francisco 49ers do at this point is gravy. After the season that they've had, with the injuries they've had to go through, everything at this point is gravy. These guys are probably just excited to be out there again. And if they're being honest, probably did not think they'd even have a shot at getting that number one seed, let alone being in a position where they could get to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, no. They thought once they knew they had a chance to get that number one seed, they thought they had a shot. They didn't think they had a shot until that game was over. That shot died when Christian McCaffrey didn't hold on to the football. But up until that point, and really even before the game, once they got on that roll, when they saw Cleveland and Tennessee, and when they beat the Bears, they felt like they had a shot to get that number one seed. But they ran into a Seattle team that on that day was better than them. But the team that Seattle saw a couple of weeks ago in Week 18 is different than the one they're going to see on Saturday. And I'll tell you why it's different, and that's why I believe the Niners will win. We'll get to that in a second. But let me just point out a couple of things here on the injury report. Jair Brown is out. I don't want to be mean here, but Marquise Siegel over Jair Brown. You saw that in the game against the Eagles. I think that is a plus move. Ricky Pearsall says questionable here. That's the designation. Ricky Pearsall is going to play. That's why this is a different Niner team than the one Seattle saw in Week 18. He's a big reason why I think the Niners are going to win. Trent Williams has no injury designation whatsoever. He didn't play in Week 18. Different squad than what Seattle saw. He's another guy where I think they're going to win. I'm going to move this banner here. I know this print is kind of small for those folks who are watching, but there's an interesting guy on the Seattle injury report. Sam Darnold's on it. Sam Darnold felt a little tweak in his oblique muscle. And anytime you feel anything from an injury standpoint, that has to be reported, that has to be listed because of gambling. So when Sam Darnold felt that, news came out, he's got an oblique, he's listed as questionable. Sam Darnold did say he doesn't expect for it to be a problem. However, backup quarterback Drew Lock did get some snaps with the first team just in case Sam Darnold is unable to go at some point in time. I don't think this is going to be something, Marcus, that keeps Sam Darnold out, but this could be something that the oblique could be something that worsens over the course of the game. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. But I do believe if Sam Darnold plays or if Drew Lock doesn't play, the defensive premise for the Niners remains the same. They got to stop the run. Hopefully they can do it with 7. They couldn't do it in Week 18. They had to go with 8, which is why Seattle had 115 rushing yards in the first half, only 65 rushing yards in the second half. Niners got to find a way to stop the run, whether it's with 7 or with 8, and they have to find a way to make Sam Darnold make throws on third down. That's what the Niners tried to do in Week 18. It worked, but it didn't work because they couldn't stop the run because they had 18 missed tackles and because the offense only scored 3 points. The Niners have to work together. It has to be complementary football. But the Niners' game plan stays the exact same. And listen, Seattle's only scored 13 points against the Niners in the 2 games that they played. 13 points in Week 1, 13 points in Week 18. Niners defense is saying, we're better at middle linebacker than we were in Week 18. We're better at safety. We're seeing these guys now for the second time in 2 weeks. They feel like this Niner defense, we can keep these dudes to under 17 points. If the offense gets the Niners 19 or 20, which is what Seattle gives up defensively, 19 points a game, if they get to 20, 22, 24, as they did against the Eagles, this Niners defense thinks that they can do enough to stop the run, put the game on Sam Darnold, who has 20 turnovers, more than any player in the league. They feel like Sam Darnold's going to give them a football, whether it's with a fumble or whether it's with an interception. The Niners are very confident that they can do against a different team, but what they did against Philly, they feel like they can do that against Seattle.
I don't have that faith. I think Seattle is just going to muscle these dudes. They're going to muscle them all over the field defensively. I don't, especially in Seattle. I might feel differently if they were in San Francisco, but I don't think they're going to win. I just
Brock
don't
Purdy's
think...
4-0 against the Seahawks in Seattle, and they went up there in Week 1 and beat them. I'm just telling you.
Great. That
I'm
sounds
telling
great.
you.
Sounds great.
I mean, it sounds great. It's a fact. I'm just giving you the facts. It's not my opinion. I'm just giving you the facts.
Those facts sound great. They're amazing, but they're still going to lose. The other fact is they're going to lose up in Seattle. Probably lose by 6. And I think that Seattle left some points on the field against the 49ers as well.
Sure.
I think the 49ers defensively are a nice bend but don't break defense, and they are really good at that. But they can give up some points against a decent offense. And until they show me that they can stop these boys from running, I'm just going to roll with the dudes who can run the ball.
And I completely agree with that. But here's where I look at both of these games and tell you that the Niners can stop that run game. As I mentioned, they lost in Week 18. Can't take that away. But as I mentioned, second half, Niners much better against the run. Only giving up 65. Only giving up 65 yards. When the Niners saw Seattle in Week 1, rushing yards. Seattle only had 84 rushing yards. It'd be different in my mind if and Charbonnet and Walker, because the Niners have trouble with running games that have 2 guys. And until this is proven otherwise, this is going to be a big question mark. You know, they stopped Taylor. They stopped Saquon Barkley. They stopped Bijan Robinson. But those Chicago guys gave them a lot of trouble. The Seattle guys gave them trouble. But they did stop them in Week 1. They did hold them to under 100 yards. They did hold them to 84 yards.
That's true. I don't know. I think the way you're playing at the end of the year, it probably matters a bit more than where you start the first 1 or 2 games of the season.
Okay. All right. I get you that.
Defensively, I just think Seattle was better. I mean, really what it boils down to, I just think Seattle's a better defensive team.
It's not even a contest when you were comparing defense, which one is the best. But if you're talking all 3 phases, all right, if you're talking all 3 phases, special teams, these are the 2 best special teams units in football. Defensively, the Seattle Seahawks are better, flat out, than the San Francisco 49ers. But let's start to talk about offense. And you mentioned something very interesting. You feel like how you play near the end of the year says a lot about you. Have you checked out Sam Darnold's numbers over the past 8 games?
Yeah. Not amazing.
but not amazing, not good.
But I mean, yes, I've seen this stuff happen with these defensive teams before. Like, I don't want to say quarterbacks don't matter, but when you're really great defensively, your quarterback, all he has to do is not lose it, not lose the game for you.
Sure, but
not lose. If he goes in there and he doesn't turn it over, and these guys run for 140 yards against the 49ers, I think it's going to be done.
But you keep saying doesn't turn it over. We're talking about a guy that has the most turnovers of any player in the league over his past 8 games. He's got 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's crazy.
How many did he have against the Niners?
In week 18, he had 0 interceptions. Also had 0 touchdowns. Yeah, he had a fumble that he recovered. And if Renardo Green was able to get 2 feet down, that's an interception. In week 1, but the non-if is he is turnover prone. My point is that they're not going to be able to fully hide him again as they did a couple of weeks ago. I'm just telling you, it's a completely different, because the Niners are going to be better against the run, and they're going to get 1 or 2 of those turnovers, which understandable. But if they can do it, if they can go to Philly and do it, have a hard time thinking they can't go to Seattle and do it. And yes, Philly and Seattle are 2 completely different teams.
I thought the 49ers were going to blow Philly out. So, I mean, I didn't have any faith in Philadelphia at all.
I didn't have any thought that they were going to blow Philadelphia out by any stretch of the imagination.
I had 0 faith in the Philadelphia Eagles. And truth be told, they probably should have won that game. But they're just the Eagles. And I'm like, the 49ers are going to run all over these dudes. They're going to blow them out. And they didn't, but they still won, just like I thought they would. I didn't have faith in them, but I definitely believe in the Seahawks. I told you we're coming towards a Seahawks-Texans Super Bowl.
So you riding with Sam Darnold?
Yeah, okay. I am. I'm riding with Seattle defense. That's what I'm doing. I'm riding with Seattle defense. And
now that's the squad you ride with. That's the squad you ride with.
Sometimes you got to, because that's what it is. And we've seen it happen multiple times in Super Bowls. Multiple times.
In terms of the matchup.
And a dude, and a defense and a dude at quarterback. That's all you need sometimes. And because because I don't think the 49ers are world beaters, I just think Seattle's just going to be dominant defensively. That's my belief. Plus, I got to stick to it because I told you that it's going to be Seattle and Texas. I'm rolling with that.
Okay.
The 2 best defensive teams in football in San Francisco.
Different situation with Trent Williams out there. Much different situation defensively that Seattle has to deal with Ricky Pearsall out there, who hit him for 4 catches and 108 yards. Okay. Listen, Seattle's defense, excellent. And where the Niners, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Where the Niners got beaten is at the line of scrimmage. And I'm a big fan of that Seattle defensive front. I'm a big fan of Leonard Williams. I'm a big fan of Byron Murphy and DeMarcus Lawrence. Those 3 dudes are absolute game records. And they kicked the shit out of the left side of the Niners offensive line in week 18. But that was Austin Pleasance playing left tackle. And not having Trent Williams out there, not having his play in terms of run blocking and pass blocking clearly hurt the Niners, but it also affected Spencer Burford, who had a terrible, terrible game. You get Trent Williams. They had to chip. They had to help Austin Pleasance. They had to help him 48% of dropbacks. They had to help him half the time. You ain't got to help Trent Williams at all. So why I say – and Seattle is to be respected. Don't get me wrong. The only person I think is shaky is Sam Darnold. Everybody else on that team, from the coach all the way to special teams, as I mentioned, I got mad respect for Seattle. But to me, what we saw in week 18, Seattle whooped them. Okay, whooped them at the line of scrimmage, scored enough, did enough defensively to win that game. Not having Trent Williams out there, not having Ricky Pearsall, particularly allowed Seattle to basically play 11 guys at the line of scrimmage because they didn't have to worry about anything behind them. All of a sudden, now they do. That backs them off the line of scrimmage. And who is going to work in that area from line of scrimmage to 10 yards out? That's where Christian McCaffrey is going to work. That's where Jake Tonjes is going to work. Then if the intermediate opens up, and the Niners are the best in the league in terms of hitting you middle field intermediate with those Brock Purdy layered throws. If they can get Ricky Pearsall on that in-breaking route, that dagger route, and also use him from the numbers to the boundary in man-to-man situations, that's something Seattle had no worries about in Week 18, which is why they were able to shut down that Niner run game. See, other than the Texans, Seattle's the best tackling team. I have mad respect for them. But this is going to look a lot more like what we saw in Week 1. And remember, the Niners didn't have George Kittle for the majority of that game. He got hurt. This is going to look a lot. This is going to look a lot more like Week 1 than it's going to look like Week 18, just simply due to the fact that you got Trent Williams playing left tackle and you got Ricky Pearsall out there threatening, at minimum, Seattle with something downfield. I'm just telling you. Just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that's not far-fetched, but ultimately, Seattle wins.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the rest of the divisional playoff schedule.
We got?
But before we do that, there's a little interesting graphic I found.
Ooh.
Quarterbacks and their playoff wins. Yeah, I mentioned this on Twitter. Mama called it Twitter. I'm gonna still call it Twitter. That and this is after watching my Texans and C.J. Stroud make me I was cussing like Yosemite Sam watching him play quarterback. That you look at the quarterbacks, because obviously no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes. This is almost a brand new crop of guys, and Josh Allen, fantastic quarterback, fantastic athlete. Not for a lack of trying, but still hasn't gone to a Super Bowl. Still hasn't gotten there yet. Obviously, Matthew Stafford, he's got himself one. Brock Purdy, see with those 5 playoff wins, he's been to a Super Bowl, been to a couple of NFC Championship games. C.J. Stroud has now 3 victories, but the jury is still out on him. Nobody really knows about Drake May and Caleb Williams, even though they got their first victories. And Sam Darnold and Bo Nix there at the bottom are, in essence, unknown playoff quantities. To me, the only guys you can really not count on, what's the word I want to use, that I think are proven entities are Matthew Stafford and Brock Purdy. And this is not to say that the rest of the guys are garbage. That's not my point. And clearly, I agree with that. Clearly, Josh Allen is a superior quarterback, but I kind of almost think he's a wild card. You know what I mean? Really, again, the 2 guys I think you say are proven commodities, just because, and my sort of baseline they've been there and done it. There's Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford. Everybody else, I'm still sort of, to varying degrees, wait and see mode. It's less wait and see with Josh Allen than it is, with Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. I need a little bit more. I just need to see a little bit more out of them. But interesting graphic when I ran across this a few days ago.
Yeah, these games are going to be interesting. That's for damn sure.
All right, so let's get to it. So I already told you, I'm taking the Niners. You're taking the Seahawks. Bears, Rams. Who you with?
God, I hate both these teams.
They speak fondly of you.
I mean, these are teams that I don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel good about any.
You don't believe in the Rams, really?
I mean, I told you last week when they were playing the Panthers. I don't believe in the Rams. And I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if they got mopped by the Panthers. And
yeah. I mean, but
this is what I mean. They are very inconsistent. They are not a team that I'm willing to like bet money on. Neither one of these teams makes me feel good. I'm going to say Bears.
Okay.
And I don't feel good about it.
I'm
I'm
taking the Rams. Credit to the Panthers for making the Rams work. The Rams special teams is what's going to keep them from winning a championship, and Rams special team is what almost kept them from winning that game against the Panthers, that block punt.
I don't believe in that defense either. Like
I believe in it more than I do the Bears, for God's sakes.
I mean,
come on now. Let's not get crazy. Come on.
Yeah, I guess that's fair too.
Yeah, come on now, dog.
Listen, in about 20 minutes, I might go, you know what? I'm going Rams. Like, I don't believe in one of these teams. Like, neither one of them has a chance. They both have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and they both don't.
I don't think the Bears have a chance to win the Super Bowl. No.
Just
by virtue of their defense. They're not good defensively. And I think, listen, Caleb Williams is fun to watch, but Caleb Williams needs just a little bit more seasoning. It's not an accident that he's a much more accurate thrower moving. That throw he made, moving to his right and throwing in an unorthodox way and just throwing that dot. I hate to use that term, but that dot. Sure. That's one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. But that's you can't live like that all the time. And the Bears have, and I don't want to say they've gotten away with, but the Bears have been living on that. Get the game to the fourth quarter, and we'll win it with something miraculous. And they listen, and they did it in the playoffs. In my estimation, you can't have a steady diet of that. At some point in time, you're gonna have to play real football. And now they do have that ability with their run game and with their offensive line. But at some point in time, quarterback gonna have to make plays from the pocket. And Caleb Williams has not shown that he can do that at this point as needed, like a guy like Brock Purdy. And I'm just using him as an example. So I say all that to say this. When you are sort of living on the edge all season long, and you're not that great defensively, and you still have an unproven commodity at quarterback, I'm going to go with the team that has a proven commodity at quarterback that can score in a variety of ways, because the Rams obviously have a run game as well. And they also have a defense that's not as good as the Texans, not as good as Seattle's, not even as good as New England's, but that's a really good Rams defense. To me, it's a really easy answer. The Rams are the better football team.
Yeah.
But their problem is, if this is a tight game, as it was against the Panthers, the problem is special teams. They seem like they find a way to fuck up on special teams once a game. And that one time you mess up on special teams in the playoffs could be the last time that season you mess up on special teams in the playoffs.
These guys are constantly in trouble against teams that they should be spanking. And every time I watch them play, I'm like, I don't see anything great about these dudes. Maybe this is gonna be shitty for me to say.
You don't see anything great about Puka Nacua? Come on now.
Listen.
You don't see anything great about Jared Verse? Come on, man.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they don't have excellent players. I'm saying that there is an element to the Rams. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't trust these guys to win big games. I don't trust them to win regular season games. Like, I feel like there's so many times this year they should have spanked. They didn't. They lost, or they managed to keep teams that they should be superior to. Manage to keep these teams in the game. Like, I don't trust that's what I'm gonna say. And this might be shitty to say, especially about professional players. However, I just think the Rams are mentally a little bit soft. A little bit soft.
I don't even know how I could even possibly quantify that. So I don't know. But I tell you this much: if we're going to go on the trustworthy scale, I trust them more than the Bears for all of the reasons I just gave.
Oh, don't get me wrong. not like I have I don't trust them either. Just because I say this every week with the Bears, they can continue to play this way and keep trying to make comebacks, and they just can't.
Yeah,
It just can't continue.
I think it's going to be proven that when you run into a superior opponent, you can't keep getting away with that stuff. They couldn't get away. They couldn't get away with that stuff against the Niners. They got away with it against the Packers, who are injured, and clearly, the Packers backed into the playoffs. They're just not going to be able, in my estimation, to get away with that stuff with the Rams. Weather might be a factor. It's supposed to be colder than a pimp's heart, and it might even snow in that game. Maybe that's a factor. But if we're just talking football, to me, it's the Rams, and it's the Rams easy. Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Who you with? Who you with? Does everybody get that reference, by the way? Am I the only one that gets that reference? Bernie Mac in House Party 3? Who you with? Who you with? Sorry.
I wish that
Uncle
was a drop.
Buster.
That'd be great.
Who you with?
I'm gonna say Buffalo. I think that Josh Allen's his experience in these playoffs is going to be enough in the end to lift them over the Denver Broncos.
I have been just dumping on the Bills defense.
Me too.
For weeks now.
Yeah.
And after what I saw them do against Jacksonville, I got to give them a little bit more credit. They're flawed, and they are, compared to the Broncos, the inferior unit for sure. And the Jaguars were able to move the ball, but they played enough defense, just like the Niners.
Yeah.
Play enough defense to have your offense be the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous way to live, but you can do some things with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that to say I think Buffalo can go into Mile High. The pressure that's on the Seahawks and the Broncos and the Patriots being those number one seeds, not having played, getting the bye and seeing supposedly inferior opponents, that pressure is real. And I think Seattle's going to feel that pressure, which is another reason why I think the Niners are going to win. If the Niners get that thing like they did against the Eagles, if they get that thing to the fourth quarter within a score, it's going to get real tight in Seattle. Fans going to get tight, quarterback going to get tight. I think the same thing could happen to the Broncos and the Patriots. We'll get to the Patriots in just a second. I think the Bills can play enough defense to make Bo Nix in his first playoff start, where he's the man here, to make him work for it.
Amen.
The trick is it's a really good Denver offensive line, really good in pass protection. So they might be able, whatever advances Buffalo makes defensively in terms of pass rush, I think the Broncos are going to be able to handle it. I'm curious how Bo Nix deals with pressure, imagined pressure, and also actual pressure from the Buffalo Bills. And I think Josh Allen and that offense, as good of a defense as Denver has, I think this is going to be one of those situations like similar to the Niners. If you can get to 20 on this Broncos defense, you have a chance to win. And I think Buffalo has enough offensively to get to 20, to get to 22, to get to 24 possibly, and make Denver have to work for it offensively. And if Denver has to work for it offensively in the fourth quarter, even against this Bills defense that I have maligned maybe a little bit too much, I would go in the Bills in this somewhat hypothetical yet entirely possible scenario that I just crafted. So
you don't want to have 2 minutes left on the clock and Josh Allen with the ball. That's just
even against Denver's defense. Exactly.
Yep.
And I think the flip side, if you're Buffalo, 2 minutes left, you're up 4, and Bo Nix has to beat you.
Yeah.
If you're the Bills, I think you
should
take
win
that
that.
scenario. You should be advantageous in that
you should.
situation.
I mean, honestly, it comes down to me. This game is going to come down to how many points do the Bills score off the 2 picks that Bo Nix is going to throw in this game.
You think Bo Nix is going to throw 2 picks, which I don't disagree with you, but you don't think Sam Darnold is going to be a turnover machine. All right. Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
I think the Seahawks will try to hide Sam Darnold. They'll run it.
100%, which is what they've done. They did the 2 games against the Niners and what they've done really the entire season. Oh, yeah, 100%.
The Broncos are going to try to get cute with what's his coach? Sean Payton.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to get cute, and they're going to throw a couple of picks.
Okay. All right.
Do they score 6 or do they score 14? What are they going to get out those 2 picks?
Very good point. Texans and the Patriots. There's 2 parts of me here with this. One part is the guy who covers football and watches football, and I try to have reasoned opinions backed up with facts about these teams.
Sure.
And I want to have professional Rod come out first. That this Texas defense is the real fucking deal.
Of course.
I know they beat the Steelers, and I know they beat up on old man Rodgers, but that Texans defense, what they did is what they've been doing all season long, is that they get your offense backed into a corner, and then they jump you like you're getting jumped into a gang. You just get the shit kicked out of you for 3 hours.
Yeah. And God help you if you're in a position where you have to pass the ball.
Oh, listen, and that's the equivalent of don't fall on the ground because it's a wrap. You got to stay up. You got to stay up to take the blows. All right, because if you fall on the ground, the Texans gonna kill you. And if you have to pass the ball, the Texans gonna kill you. They tell you line that shit up. Let's go. They play 4 down. They play man on the back end, and they tackle like demons. All right, they get there fast and they get you down just as quickly. Drake May, Bo Nix, I put him in the same category. Drake May's played a better brand of quarterback, but this is a situation and this is a team that's going to put you in situations that you've never been in before. And the Patriots' offensive line is nowhere near as good as Denver's, nowhere near as good as Seattle's. So how does this Patriots offensive line deal with the pressure you're going to get from Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson and that Texans front? How does Drake May deal with not having guys open when those windows being tight or being shut by that Texans secondary? On the flip side, CJ Stroud, more questions than answers with him. Does he have back-to-back bad games, or was what we saw against Pittsburgh, was that just a thing, and he's going to, if not completely improve, at least not be as bad as he was at times against Pittsburgh? He's a question mark, unlike the Texans defense, which is not a question mark at all. So to me, the Texans should be able to go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots, even though the Patriots have a very good defense as well. I just again talking about defense, and that's the name of the game with Denver and with Seattle. You have that defense. You control the narrative. You dictate what's going on. I think the Texans can do that. It's going to be a defensive battle, and it's going to come down to which quarterback makes plays. And I am going to, because he's been there before, I'm going to assume that CJ Stroud he's either going to be a net positive. He's going to be a net positive. I don't think he's going to be a net negative, but that's a possibility. So that's professional Rod. Kid from H-Town, south side of H-Town, Rod's opinion about the Texans. This is killing me. This is killing me because I don't want to believe. I don't want to believe that they're that good.
I understand.
They really seem like they're that good.
But they are
what I'm saying?
And listen, this is coming from a person I have no skin in this thing. I am a man without a squad, so this makes life easier for me in terms of making picks. I just think the Texans are better, and I think that they're going to score a number of points off the 2 turnovers they're going to get from at least 2, by the way, at least 2 turnovers. Because
Okay.
I don't think Drake May understands what he's about to get into. He's going to be sped up so much.
Completely agree.
He's going to be so sped up, Rod. His adrenaline is going to be pumping. He's not a veteran who understands what those jitters are. And the Texans are probably going to defer to the second half. So he's going to come right out the box. It might be a pick 6 on the second play of the game. I'm not even kidding.
From your lips to God's ears, Marcus Osborne.
I'm not even kidding. This dude he's gonna be nervous. He's gonna be sped up. This is a wrap. Don't be surprised if the Texans blow these dudes out too.
Now I have to say, as much as I would want that, your blowout predictions don't seem to ever come true. So pardon me if I don't necessarily go down that road with you. But I agree on everything you said. Just defensively, they're so damn good that they were able to hold things down enough to where CJ Stroud could eventually get his shit together, and then they could win that football game. Mm-hmm. But as terrible as Stroud was and the Texans offense was until they started running the ball, as terrible as they were, that defense was like, you guys figure it out. We'll just continue to just beat the ever-loving shit out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. To see a defense that has that talent and has that attitude, it's a special defense that if they get to and win a Super Bowl, we're going to be talking about them like the Legion of Boom. We're going to be talking about them like the 2000 Ravens and the 2002 Buccaneers. And like we should have been talking about if they would have won the 2010, I forget the year, Niners, when that defense was only giving them like 13 points a game. Something. It might even be like 12 points and change in that year. They are that good. And the idea that the Texans could be playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl in Houston against the Bills. It's a concept that I can't even understand it.
Yeah, I just look at these squads. I'm going, to me, like, these are pretty obvious picks. I just don't see anybody stopping the Texans from here on out.
Yeah,
I just don't. I don't.
The only team that's going to stop the Texans is their offense.
Dude, all they got to do is play ball management.
Yeah.
Stroud, don't turn it over. Don't make dumb decisions. You're going to be okay.
Hey, actually, you know what? How about you get the ball from the center? How about you when you're in the shotgun, you make sure you're looking at the ball as it's being hurtled towards you and not trying to sneak a peek at the safety because you're nervous. One problem for the Texans, though, looks like they're not going to have Nico Collins, best wide receiver on that team, one of the best in football. He's got a concussion. He didn't practice yesterday. I don't think he practiced today. So that's advantage Denver, because just like when the Niners didn't have Ricky Pearsall against Seattle in Week 18, now Denver's like, and the Texans have a better group of receivers, I think, than the Niners brought to Week 18. But if you're Denver and you already got it, that Patrick Surtain cat is just as good as Darryl Stingley. He's excellent. It's a good secondary for the Broncos. If the Broncos don't have to worry about Nico Collins, that means that they can pay attention to what's in front of them. They can pay more attention to that Texans run game. So I think offensively it's going to be tough sledding, not just because of what we saw from CJ Stroud against the the Steelers a few days ago. So I think it's going to be a defensive battle. Just clearly it lends itself to that. I think the Texans are going to come out victorious. But again, it's hard for me to put my full faith in that just because I'm
Run the ball 40 times. Just run it 40 times.
I am significantly more confident in the Niners' chances of going into Seattle and winning that game than I am in the Texans beating.
That's because you've seen that happen.
I was saying the Broncos beating the Patriots. So there you go. So give me Texans, give me Bills, give me Niners, and give me the Rams. You are taking Bears, Texans, Bills, and
yeah.
There you go. Real quick, Warrior update. 11 minutes left to go. Warriors up 99-90 over the New York Knicks.
Nice.
And where do we want to go here? How about we do some on this date?
Let's do it, man.
I think we've talked long enough. On this date, January the 15th, we go all the way back to 1892. Because on this date in 1892, Dr. James Naismith published the rules for the game of basketball on this date in 1892. And I look at this picture of James Naismith wearing presumably a wool three-piece suit, holding a what looks like a volleyball and a peach basket. And I'm watching the Warriors play the Knicks, and this is one of those where could you imagine James Naismith watching Steph Curry play the New York Knicks right now? What he would think seeing this game right now.
He'd be like, oh my God, everybody's traveling. That's what he'd be saying.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Everyone's traveling.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. So on this date, back in 1892,
Dude,
the rules.
Do you ever see the footage of teams dribbling the ball back in the 60s?
With your hand was flat and on top of the ball. There was none of this holding it.
Yeah.
You damn sure couldn't have it from the bottom and turn it over, and you couldn't hold it from the back. Your palm had to be flat, and you had to be dribbling the ball like this.
What's crazy is the way Bob Cousy was able to pass playing and dribbling that way. It was insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On this date, January 15th, 1892, the rules for the game of basketball were first published. On this day in 1929, one of the greatest human beings ever to walk this earth was born.
Hey.
Dr. Martin Luther King was born on this date, January 15th, 1929. I will ask the same question that I did with Dr. Naismith and what he would think if he saw today's NBA game, particularly Steph Curry playing today's NBA game. Man, a penny for Dr. King's thoughts. We don't get too deep here on Quality Hang, but a penny for Dr. King's thoughts on the state of this country.
Yeah, man.
In the year 2026.
Although this looks like I ain't gonna lie, he looks like he about to drop an album on Motown. That's what this one looks like. Got the smolder going. All right, then.
He about to drop his "I Have a Dream" mixtape on you. Have you seen the Boondocks cartoon where they did an episode on what if Martin Luther King had lived, if he had not been stricken down by an assassin's bullet? Have you ever seen that?
Man, that is legendary, dude.
Pure brilliance. So
we don't talk about the Boondocks enough.
We don't. And I'm of a mind that when we lost David Bowie, when we lost Prince, and when Boondocks went off the air, that's when we lost our way as a country. Do I have
Amen.
anything where I can back that up scientifically? No, it's just a feeling. But I'm right. I'm right.
You're all right.
So we will celebrate his birthday on Monday with the official observance of MLK Day. But on this date, back in 1929, Martin Luther King Jr. was born, and the world became a much better place. On this date in 1995, this is one of my favorites here. A man I'm proud to call a friend, Steve Young, exercised some demons.
Young scored the final touchdown, fighting for the last 3 yards in what had been a long uphill climb.
It was like putting a flag on the top of Everest. Dallas had gone down, and get out of my way, because I'm running around and I'm saying hello to everybody. The same people that said Joe is the man and that's never going to change, I think suddenly said, it's all right. Steve can do it and Joe can do it, and we're all good because we're from San Francisco and we're 49er fans. It was as if everyone's heart grew enough to circle both of us. And I still remember the moment. It was like I traveled the field and everybody, I think everybody was even yelling it. We're with you. You know, it's like everybody kind of let it go. Early in the year in Philadelphia, my teammates did. Later in the year, I think the fans did. And finally, we were all one.
On this date, 1995, Niners beat the Cowboys in the third game of their NFC Championship trilogy, 38-28.
That was an amazing year. That was an amazing year. I felt good for Steve Young because he did it. Listen, man. The toughest thing for Steve Young was the way that Montana was jettisoned out of San Francisco. And I think that was the thing that really got the 49er fans in a frenzy over that whole transition. Because otherwise, nothing but love. But you can't move this is on the coach. You can't just throw Joe Montana by the wayside and say, oh, this guy's gonna do it for us. It just doesn't work that way.
Listen, Bill Walsh.
Yep.
What is attributed to Bill Walsh, I think, most in terms of his philosophy.
Get rid of him early.
It's better to get rid of him a year too early than it is a year too late.
And he ain't necessarily wrong, by the way.
No. He's not wrong at all. And that's Bill Walsh's get down, and it's smart. But the combination of Joe being beloved, rightfully so, how Joe was dumped, because he was dumped, and Steve's inability and being sort of the singular sort of focus of the team's inability to beat the Cowboys, all of that conspired to those negative feelings towards Steve Young. And that's why you saw the exultation from Steve, after they had vanquished the Cowboys 38-28. And that's why you saw, once Steve Young finally got that monkey off of his back, when they beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl a few weeks later, that's why you saw that palpable relief on his face, because of all of the scrutiny, right or wrong, that was placed on Steve because of the actions of others.
And what sucked for Steve, listen, anybody who was going to replace Montana at that time, they were going to have a very high hill to climb.
You go catch hell. Just flat out.
I would also say a lot of that is partially Bill's fault as well, because God bless the dead, but Bill was not he didn't handle that situation as well as he should have, put it that way, because he made it a public competition and he made it known that he was itching to get rid of Joe Montana and give Steve Young that job. He was itching to do it, and he should have just kept his mouth shut.
Well, I mean, Bill Walsh gave
too much pressure on Steve to just come out and be that way.
Yeah, but Bill Walsh didn't give a shit about that because of the pressure that was placed on him by Eddie DeBartolo.
Yep.
Like the thing about Bill Walsh is that there was this idea that he was like this kindly grandfatherly type. Bill Walsh was, and I say this with a certain amount of reverence. Bill Walsh was an asshole.
I mean,
all right, but Vince Lombardi was an asshole. Okay,
no bigger asshole than Bill Belichick.
Great coaches are assholes.
It just turns out that way.
Bill
Parcells, asshole.
World class asshole.
Jimmy Johnson, asshole.
World class asshole.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. Nope. So it wasn't necessarily Bill Walsh's. He was going to do what was best for him, and what was best for the team, which was also what was best for him. And at that time, he felt, and I guess it's still debatable, he felt that it was best for Joe to go and turn the reins over to Steve. And whatever fallout came from that was for Steve to deal with. And obviously, I think Bill Walsh had to deal with it too, but he was a little bit more insulated because he had those 4 Super Bowls that he'd go, well, hey, look what I did. You didn't have these before I got here.
Well, I mean, and also the other person who had to deal with it was George Seifert, because once Bill retired, Bill had already cast the die for Steve Young.
Yes,
and Bill was really talking about getting rid of Montana. That 88 year, he was openly talking about maybe it's time for Joe to move on.
Yeah, so
he was grooming Steve, and then of course once Seifert got in there, the transition was complete, and Bill left him with that. By the way, George Seifert, excellent coach.
Oh yeah, should be in the Hall of Fame.
Gets no love.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. Last thing, this was back in the day when the NFC Championship game was the actual Super Bowl.
It was a Super Bowl. Yep.
This is when the 2 best teams in the league, whether it was Niners Cowboys or Niners Giants or back then the Redskins and I don't know, pick somebody. Back when the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl, what the actual Super Bowl was a letdown, and clearly the Super Bowl that the Niners won to cap off beating the Cowboys in that NFC Championship game trilogy. That Super Bowl was an absolute and complete letdown because the Niners were just that damn good.
I mean, the Chargers. I still don't know how do they even get to the Super Bowl? Like, oh my God. I remember watching that team going, they're not good.
Comparatively speaking, no, they were not.
That's got to be one of the weakest Super Bowl participants I've ever seen. Like the AFC those years, the 80s.
I mean, man, shit, the Broncos got beat 55-10. So
that's what I'm saying. The AFC, but that Broncos team was better than that Chargers team.
No, you completely agree. You're right about that. The problem was that 94 Niners team was just so damn good that they made that Chargers team look a lot worse than it was. You know what I mean?
And remember,
that's how good they were.
That 49er team with Montana and Rice and John Taylor and Ronnie Lott, that team was stacked. That's one of the greatest teams of all time. And the Broncos, no chance.
I just let me do something here real quick before we get out of here. Before we do best thing I saw today and we get out of here.
Escobar said Stan Humphries. Enough said. Exactly.
I've just went into the chat and I just want to apologize to the quality hangers in the chat. I see it's been active, but I haven't had a chance to get in there. Let me get some of these. Up. Yeah, Escobar Cheeks. Yeah, Stan Humphries is the quarterback. Enough said. Patty from Napa. She admits she was Team Joe. It took her years to like Steve. Patty, I'm guessing you finally liked Steve on this date, January 15th, 1995, when he and your San Francisco 49ers finally beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Young. Definitely one bad mother. Shut your mouth. Let's see here. Noemi going back here.
That 49er documentary is coming soon on AMC.
Yeah, next month. Cannot wait to watch it for sure. Noemi dropping some knowledge here, some bars. She says she's glad that Prince is not alive to see what's happening to his beloved Minneapolis.
Oh.
You're right about that. Dom said MLK would flip the spread in 2026 to say the least. All right, the idea of Martin Luther King coming in like a baseball manager that just watched his team lose its second consecutive series in a row by getting swept. Yes, he just coming. I had a dream, and now look at you ruining it, and he just flips over the post game spread.
Redo, what the fuck is going on?
I got my ass beat in Birmingham for this. I'm going to be laughing about that for a Oh man, love you folks, love you, you quality hangers. We do this for you, and we love to do it with you for sure. Let's do the best thing that I saw today, and we will get out here. The best thing I've seen today, to be grammatically correct. Saw this earlier. Took place in Berlin, where the NBA played a game, and not only is this the best dunk in the NBA this year, I'm going to guess that this will easily win best dunk in the NBA for the entire season, going all the way through the playoffs. This is the best thing that I've seen today. Oh my God.
You see right here, you said a freight train?
You hit 3 of them?
Anthony
Picked up 4 bodies.
Defenders.
He is a serial killer. Oh my God.
A poster.
Yeah.
Crowd is oohing and awing as they show the replays.
My goodness, you get some. You get some. You get some.
Yeah, let me go back and find that still photo. Yo!
As they show the replays.
My goodness, you get.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's
he
4
is a
dudes
serial killer for sure.
That got yammed on. My goodness, look
at
Defenders,
brother. That right there is not only the best thing that I've seen today. I am positive that this is the best thing all of you have seen today.
I mean, this could be one of the greatest sports pictures of all time. Like, I would put that on my wall. This is amazing.
Brother. He dunked over 4 dudes. And go back and watch the video again. I believe he did it, take it around his back. Oh, he just did
The question is,
you see right here,
where's the 5th dude?
A freight train?
Who's the 5th dude? The
Anthony
smartest guy in that team.
4
He's like, I don't want nothing to do with this. My name is
The
Bennett.
whole team.
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. This ain't got nothing to do with me.
My goodness, you get some. You get some. You get some.
Hey, man, it's like you see somebody getting robbed. Like, you know what? Hey, man, I'm not going to run up there because what? Both of us going to get robbed right now? Sorry. What I'm going to do? So now the whole team going to get dunked on? No, I can't do that. Sorry. So, yeah. Whoever that Grizzlies player is made the wisest business decision of the NBA year, because that is the dunk of the year.
Was it
No. Ja's on the bench. Ja's cooling his heels, waiting to get traded to the Miami Heat. All right. No. So there you go. Was it Anthony Black of the Magic dunking on 4 dudes, dunking on 4 Grizzlies? That's the best thing that I have seen today. So there you go. We watch one more time. It's that good. Bam, 4 dudes. And they all feel like bowling pins. That's hilarious.
Look at that. That's insane.
Absolutely hilarious. All right, everybody. That's another edition of Quality Hang. Oof. Yeah, I can watch that over and over and over again. Before we get out of here, we'd like to thank once again our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Nevada. Go check them out. They'll feed you, they'll serve you fantastic beer, and you will see a show that I'm positive will be right up your alley. So follow them online or check them out online and see what they have coming up live entertainment, live music-wise at hopmonk.com. Follow them on all the socials. Better yet, make sure you check them out live and in person if you happen to be in or around Sonoma, Sebastopol, or in Nevada. How about we do this again on Monday? Marcus, what do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So, folks, we will see you on Monday, and have yourselves a fantastic rest of your evening. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. To all of the quality hangers in the chat, we see you, we thank you, and we will see you on Monday. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Bye.